Well, might as well get the vaccine news. That's mostly what I've got to talk to you here this morning about. Forget the crap in Afghanistan. Troops got bombed by ISIS. And again, real, fake, imagine, propaganda, something. I don't know. But it sure ain't looking good against Biden. And my wife had a series of dreams last night that I think I'll do next. I'll do that video next. She's woke up and she's like, "Oh my God, it's so late, early in the morning. I didn't want to wake you up, but it was like one thing after another. I just kept seeing all this stuff that looks like some things are going to happen." And anyways, she couldn't remember everything once she woke up because she didn't send herself like an email while it was fresh on her mind. And I told her this morning, I go, "That's why I always pick up my phone in the middle of the night. I'll just do speech to text, whatever, write an email to myself and just mention my dream so I don't forget it. And then in the morning I'll read it again and go, oh yeah, because sometimes I will forget." She's like, "Yeah, I know, I almost did it, but I thought even talking might wake you up in the bathroom." I'm like, just do it, because now you're like, "Oh my God, I wanted to tell you this, but I forgot some of it." But anyways, so Kiss, the front guy of Kiss, lead singer, Gene Simmons. "No one's coming to my concerts unless you're fully vaccinated." Breaking news, August 26th. Kiss show at the Pavilion at Star Lake in Burgestown, Pennsylvania is unfortunately postponed due to Paul Stanley, I think that's the drummer maybe, testing positive for COVID. More information about show dates will be made available ASAP. By the way, he's fully effing vaccinated. And the dumbasses are in there as they do. Well, it's not perfect, It's called shit happens. Every now and then one sneaks through, a fully vaccinated person could get it. When are you effing sheep, like this guy, gonna wake up? How much more do you need? Once coincidence, twice coincidence, 3 times coincidence, 4 times coincidence, 5 times coincidence, 6 times coincidence, 7, not say times, different things even. 7 different things, coincidence, 8 different things, coincidence. I thought we were the conspiracy theorists. Listen, I change my mind every great once in a while on something where I thought I just had it right, And hey guys, data says, such and such. Remember that video I did 2 weeks ago? I'm going to go ahead and delete it, just FYI, because it's not accurate. And there's not even, if someone doesn't see this video, but they see that video, they're going to think that that's the truth. I'm going to go delete the video. It doesn't need to be up. And I go and do it. This is a rare thing for old Snip, because I'm usually trying to stay on top of stuff, make sure my information is right. But, I've only done thousands upon thousands of videos on YouTube. You wouldn't know because of my new channel, and the other one got nailed from effing criminal YouTube. But anyway, let's just move on. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tabs open. I'm trying to get through this. Zero Hedge. Japan, the country, of course, suspects contaminant in the Moderna vaccines and that it's metallic. And it reacts to magnets. I'm pretty sure there were people, I think I got one of my strikes, mentioning the vaccine and the magnet test. Where people were saying, "Oh, I got it right here. I watched this. They put a magnet and the thing stuck to it." Now Japan, the Japanese Ministry of Health, announced on Thursday, 2 days ago, that around 1.6 million doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine have been taken out of use, due to contamination in some vials that reacts to magnets, according to a ministry official. Japanese government, YouTube, this is an authority source, and you're banning our videos for mentioning why is our magnets sticking to people's arms who are allegedly, are they faking? Oh, that's misinformation. That's medical misinformation. You're not allowed to. Well, how about the Ministry of Health in Japan effing YouTube? You effing criminals. We're trying to get this information out because people are being harmed. And that's misinformation. That's medical misinformation. Says who? Looks like we effing conspiracy theorists are right again. And again. and again. Prime Minister Yoshihide, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Suga told reporters on Thursday afternoon that he had instructed the ministry to look into the case with safety as a top priority, adding he had received reports that the withdrawal won't have a significant impact on the country's vaccination program. I guess the withdrawal of those 1.6 effing million. How did you quickly determine, by the way, just curious, anybody, any government, that you have machinery that can test 1.6 million individual doses of a vaccine to go, oh, these are the ones that are contaminated with something that's causing them to be magnetic. And this is something that a government, many local, the judge read that story recently, took parental rights away from the mom because of the kid's vaccination status being not vaccinated. Oh my God. Sorry, Judge, I don't want to stick effing liquid metal in any one of my kids or my own arm. 1.6 million doses, Judge. Is that a little accident? How does 1.6... this is contamination. Little, you know, something wasn't on tight enough, you know, one of the air, and it affected 1.6 million individual doses. 1.6 million! Not 16, not 160, not even 160,000. 1.6 million. Can you unsuck that out of your arm if you accidentally got contaminated? No. You're screwed the rest of your life, man. Bombshell UK data destroys entire premise for vaccine push. The media can read just as well as me, well maybe, because somehow it is left to me to report this. This is an absolute game changer. The UK government, another authority source, the UK government just reported the following data tucked away in their report on variants of concern. Less than a third of Delta variant deaths are in the unvaccinated people. Less than a third of Delta variants are in the unvaccinated. Let me say that another way, he says. 2/3 of Delta deaths in the UK are in the people who have taken the effing vaccine, the jabbed. Here, look at the screen. Look at my screen. Look at my wallet. The report is here. Look at the link. assets.publishing.service.gov.uk. It's a legitimate UK government site. So here's where he's saying it. But this is the crucial page. Look at the bottom line. And I think I mentioned this to you guys the other day. This one, I showed you this. Unvaccinated deaths within 28 days, positive specimen, 389 for 2 doses of vaccine versus 205. It's right there. Next. Someone asked on Twitter, very simple question. I, kind of wondered the same thing too. Why isn't the CCP, and by the way, Russia too, Russia and the Chinese Communist Party, not even kind of saying anything about we're going to force vaccinate our military? But our Pentagon's like, oh, no, we have to. We got to force vaccinate ours. Remember, 1.6 million doses of the vaccine. Well, we pulled them off the shelf because they found some kind of metal issue that makes them stick to magnets. What about all the side effects? I saw a video the other day, and I swore I sent it to myself. And I'm looking at my email going, where's it at? They showed the Pfizer CEO. Because remember, the Moderna CEO, I believe, was the one early this year. He goes, no, I haven't been vaccinated. And they're like, what? You haven't taken your own shot? Well, I wanted to get, I wanted to get it to the people who are in need most. And we don't have enough for the whole world just yet. So I thought, And then later on, they're like, oh, look, a few months later, he said he got the job. He now says he took it. Of course, it's just his word. You got to believe his word, of course. But fine. But he said he got it. The Pfizer CEO, and I don't know how recent the video is. I was sure I sent it to my freaking self. Maybe I can find it. Pfizer CEO has not taken the vaccine. Let me see if I can just search for it. Now, there's a thing that comes up and goes up. Yes, the Pfizer CEO did get the vaccine. Fact check. Said he received his second dose. So yeah, this must have been way earlier. And it's just it was being shown again recently. I thought maybe it was him. That's why I said Moderna. I guess it was him. Oh yeah, he says he got it now. Okay, all right, fine. But if I'm ahead of a CEO of a effing vaccine company and there's a deadly global pandemic, my ego running a show like that, I'm getting my vaccine first. I'm the guy that developed the effing thing, and I need to stick around. Okay? Because I make vaccines. And there's going to be other things in the future you're going to need me for. So I'm a very important person. No, you guys go ahead and get it first. Okay. Do you guys remember this? I think it was the 2012 Super Bowl, Olympics, something. Remember this? Pediatric COVID hospitalization surged to highest. I'll show you in a second. To highest on record in U.S. as doctors brace for more. Oh, okay. Washington state officials say they're short on hospital staff and running out of ICU beds as COVID resurges. Okay. What's this? Oh, yeah. This is a top-down view. Remember how they put this on top of it to show you how it was designed, the stadium. Remember this? Again, I think this was the 2012. Remember the hospital beds, the kids, Dr. Death here. Sick kids in a bed, I don't know what the hell's going on. This gigantic, cool show. It was so cool. Oh, it was really neat. Again, I don't remember if it was a 2012. Was it the Olympics? Was it the Super Bowl? It was something, and I'm saying 2012. It might have been more recent, actually. What the hell's going on here? What the hell's going on here? Nothing but what we conspiracy theorists have told you all along. That the elite will always tell you what they're going to do to you in advance. It's like they have this rule that they can't break amongst themselves. That we got to tell the sheeple what we're going to do. We got to tell them. So other news. Just in, this is a few days ago. Like 2 days ago. Just in, Australia builds the first quarantine facility to keep the community safe. So here's the premiere again. In case you think this is fake news. Which last year, this would have been fake news. We told you some of this stuff would be happening. And we were, again, you guys are moron conspiracy theorists. Give me a break. We're not going to freaking lock people up over a freaking illness that's like the flu. Hold on.
By the Wagner family, working with the Queensland government, to say to the people of Queensland, we want to keep you safe. And the best way to keep you safe and to keep Delta out of Queensland is to build as quickly as possible a regional quarantine facility. I have listened to Queenslanders. I know how much they support.
You know what's I gotta stop for a second. You know what's great about this video? It sounds like another FDA approved drug where, you know, the lady, she's sad, it's dark outside, she's not outside with her kids are like, Mommy, why don't you take it? You know, and then the music comes on. Do, 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 la, 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 la. You know, she's happy. I took Pfizer's Chantix to quit smoking. Happy. I got breath. I can breathe. I can run. I'm good with my kids. The music changes. She's pushing the kids on the swing. Kids are laughing. You hear the music in the background. Then at the bottom, the little tiny letters. Warning, side effects include, possible death. But they got the music, they're telling you something horrible about side effects, but they got this beautiful, kind music playing in the background. Well, here's the Queensland premiere.
Quarantine facility to be in Queensland. They want their community kept safe. That's what they're saying to me, and we are delivering it. This is a race. We are up against a highly infectious Delta variant that's sweeping the world. We don't know what's next. We need to get these facilities up and running, and everybody has seen how successful Howard Springs is.
A piece of shit wrapped in a nice package is still a piece of shit. And speaking of FDA approved things, this is from 2014. How many drugs have been pulled off the shelf since 2014? I'll give you one. I just said. Chantix. Who makes Chantix? Pfizer. Who makes the vaccine? One of the biggest ones they're pushing the most. Pfizer. Which one just got reauthorization only for emergency use, not fully FDA approved? Both actually, Pfizer and Moderna. And I think Johnson & Johnson, but I think it was the two mainly. The new one, Comirnaty, is the one that got the FDA approval, by the way. It's not really out yet. You can't go and get it yet. But you can get the emergency authorization use ones, those same ones you've been getting, because they re-upped it. Anyways, FDA-approved prescription drugs later pulled from the market. Posted January 30th, 2014 from prescriptiondrugs.procon.org. Accutane. Manufacturer, used for acne. Manufacturer Hoffman LaRoche. Cause for recall, increased risk of birth defects, miscarriages, and premature births when using it by pregnant women. Inflammatory bowel disease, and suicidal tendencies. Over 7,000 lawsuits were filed against the manufacturer over the side effects, including a $10.5 million verdict and two $9 million verdicts. So what were the other 7,000? A simple, normal human thing that happens to all teenagers going through puberty and even a little later and all that. Acne, pimples, zits, acne. They got the commercials. Oh, the poor kid, he's self-conscious. She is self-conscious. Oh, now look at him. Look, it's gone, Ma. Oh, I could go to school and not get picked on. Okay, well, let's get you some. Acne. Accutane. Sorry, pulled from the shelf. What were the side effects versus the benefits? Benefits, it kind of hides your acne, some of it. Side effects, birth defects, miscarriages, premature births, inflammatory bowel disease, and suicidal tendencies. How many suicides happened and they didn't link it to this because they didn't know? Oh, there's only 7,000. Most people won't put A and B together because they don't know this thing. For God's sakes, it just stops my acne. No, my son didn't kill himself because of something cream he was rubbing on his face. Give me a break. Oh, actually, it might have been. According to the FDA, Baycol, a cholesterol reduction. Keep eating like a fat pig. Don't worry about making better food choices. Cause for recall. I don't know. I'm even trying to pronounce this. Rhabdomyolysis, which is the breakdown of muscle fibers that results in myoglobin being released into the bloodstream, which led to kidney failure, 52 deaths, 31 in the U.S., worldwide 385 non-fatal cases, with most requiring hospitalization. 12 of the deaths were related to taking this drug in combination with gemifibrozil, whatever, or Lopid. Gosh, that 52 deaths? 31 in the U.S., the rest of them were worldwide. As you can see, the rest of the world didn't even make up the other half. Maybe 40%. Boy, the vaccine companies, we are the premier feasting of the effing pharmaceutical companies. They feast upon us dumbasses. You could show this to any pro-vaxxer right now. Show it to them. 35 of these things. Well, they pulled them off the shelf. They did the right thing. Yeah, and Pfizer did Chantix recently. It's not on this list because this is 2014. They got pulled off the shelf. Why? Because Chantix causes effing cancer. Now imagine if you came out before that was official and said, hey, I'm hearing that I've got a friend and they've got a friend. They both took Chantix. They both got cancer. I think Chantix causes cancer. YouTube. Sorry, traffic cop, you're being banned off of YouTube. You can't spread medical misinformation. That's medical misinformation. You can't say that against one of our great big friends, the pharmaceutical, Pfizer. Oh, wait a minute. Now it's official by the FDA. They yanked it. Okay. Now you can. Oh, but can I get my channel back? Do I get the strike back and the 2 weeks back that you banned me off of the platform? No? Okay. Bextra. Serious cardiovascular adverse events, that's why it was pulled, including death, MI, and stroke. Increased risk of serious skin reactions like toxic epidermal necrosis, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, erythema multiforme, gastrointestinal bleeding. What did it do? It was just a pain reliever. You have a little pain today? Here, take this. What's the side effects? Death, MI, stroke, whatever MI is. Number 4, Cylert. Use. Central nervous system stimulant to treat ADHD, ADD. Something you would have been giving to your effing kids because the local school nurse says your kid has ADHD. ADHD didn't even exist that many years ago. We all had ADHD in school. I don't want to listen to this. I can't focus on that crap. And now they're being forced to have effing Common Core that doesn't even make effing sense. That doesn't even equal that. Well, Common Core says it does. My brain's saying no. Oh, the answer is yes. Okay, I guess I can't listen to this. Well, you got ADHD. On the market for 30 years. 1975 to October 2010. Boy, I wonder how much they made. Manufacturer, Abbott Laboratories. Cause for recall, liver toxicity. And by the way, the FDA went ahead and added a box warning to Cylert back in 1999. It'd only been available then, 20 years? According to alerting doctors and patients to the potential of liver damage. Darvon and Darvocet, which is a propoxyphene opioid pain reliever. 1955 to November 19, 2010. On the market for 55 years. Use, opioid pain reliever. Cause for recall, serious toxicity to the heart. Between 1981 and 1999, there were over 2,100 deaths reported. The UK banned Darvon and Darvocet in 2005. The FDA was petitioned in 1978 to do it. Nah, we're not going to. And again in 2006 to ban the drug by the group Public Citizen. But it took till November 19, 2010 before the FDA said, okay. So when the FDA comes out and tells you a new virus, vaccine, notice how I slipped up and said virus. A new vaccine is totally fine. The benefits outweigh the negativities, the side effects. What are the side effects? Well, we're not 100% sure yet. They said it in their new FDA-approved Comirnaty, whatever it's called, Comirnaty. Side effects are not quite known, and I'm going to read it to you in a second. I'm going to finish with that one. DBI, DES, Duract. I wonder if there's a Pfizer in here. PFI. Oh, now Pfizer. Yeah, so Park, Davis, Warner, Lampert is now Pfizer. So they had something called Resulin, which was an anti-diabetic and anti-inflammatory. Cause for recall, at least 90 liver failures and at least 63 deaths. Again, how does a person know, oh, that caused that to me? You're doing your things, daily lives, eating, drinking, pills. How do you know that? So when you do die or you have your massive liver failure, how many of these people went right under the radar? I would venture and say probably the mass majority. Because you're not normally going to want to link something like that. This is a health thing that's helping me. It's not going to kill me or hurt me. Guess it does. About 35,000 personal injury claims were filed against the manufacturer, which is now Pfizer. This was on the market for a short 3.25 years. Great, finally, something shorter. But even so, 3 years is too money. What else? Is there Pfizer anywhere else in here? Jeffrey Pfizer ends Resulin cases with $205 million to spare. Great. I'm an investor in Pfizer. I have my bottom line is going to look good. You know, the stock won't drop too much. It'll just, you know. FDA. Pfizer voluntary withdraws cancer treatment Myeloid from U.S. market. So let's look see if Myeloid is listed in here. It is number 15. acute myeloid leukemia. That's the use for it. AML, a bone marrow cancer. Cause for recall: increased risk of death and veno-occlusive disease, obstruction of the veins. Boy, old Pfizer loves the obstruction of the veins things, don't they? But back then, the manufacturer was a company called Wyeth, W-Y-E-T-H. So you have all these sub-companies, or these companies that do this stuff. They come up, make billions, and they go away. And then, you know, after the lawsuit, Pfizer buys them out. Okay. Company. I'm going to do a little quick research. Wyeth Company. Wyeth. Wikipedia. This article is about the corporation. For other uses of the word, Wyeth, if I'm saying it right, W-Y-E-T-H, Wyeth, or just maybe it's Wyeth, LLC, was an American pharmaceutical company. The company was founded in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. In 1860, as John Wyeth and Brother, it was later known in the early 1930s as American Home Products, before being renamed to Wyeth in 2002. Its headquarters moved to Collegeville, Pennsylvania, and Madison, New Jersey, before they were consolidated with Pfizer in New York City after the 2009 merger. Most of Wyeth's pharmaceutical assets were acquired by Pfizer in 2009, while its infant and maternal nutrition business was acquired by Nestle in 2012. They produced over-the-counter drugs, Robitussin, and the analgesic Advil, ibuprofen, as well as prescription drugs, Premarin and Effexor. And again, ibuprofen, like the other one, pain thing, can cause stomach bleeding. So remember that one I told you about, the bleeding. And finally, I'd like to give you something from Technofog. The suspicious FDA approval of the Pfizer vaccine. The whole thing stinks. August 25th, 2021. FDA approves first COVID-19 vaccine. On Monday, the FDA approved the Pfizer COVID-19, which will be marketed as Comirnaty, for the prevention of COVID-19 disease in individuals 16 years of age and older. If you want an approved dose of Comirnaty, well, too bad. It's not yet available. You can still get the Pfizer vaccine authorized under the emergency use authorization, however. Much has been discussed about whether this is a real approval, and I won't repeat that. I'll walk through the source documents and data showing just how weak this purported approval really is. The effectiveness is, well, unknown. The FDA says Comirnaty is safe and effective in preventing COVID-19 in individuals 16 years of age and older. How effective? They state 6 months after dose that it is 91% effective in preventing COVID-19, citing to a study where Pfizer observed 77 cases of COVID-19 occurring in the vaccine group. This leaves us with an important question. The Pfizer study is from a follow-up through March 13, 2021. That is over 5 months ago. Is the FDA using outdated data in support of the Comirnaty approval? In other words, how long does the effectiveness really last? Pfizer has an answer for us. According to its August 23rd, 2021 fact sheet, the duration of protection against COVID-19 is currently unknown. That's right. That's what it says. What are and then he printed the thing. What are the benefits of Comirnaty COVID-19 vaccine mRNA and the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine? The vaccine has been shown to prevent COVID-19 following 2 doses given 3 weeks apart. The duration of protection against COVID-19 is currently unknown. That's their words. It's on their fact sheet, if you will. If you're looking for data on the waning effectiveness of the Pfizer vaccine against COVID-19, you have to search for yourself. You won't find it with the FDA or Pfizer underscoring an apparent effort to cherry-pick the data for the approval. According to one UK study, which he links, and he's linking actually to CNBC article, of over 400,000 people in that study, he says a study that is, by the way, much more rigorous than the one cited in the FDA approval, the effectiveness fell to 74% 5 or 6 months after receiving both doses of the Pfizer vaccine. An analysis from the UK ZOE COVID app study over 400k people had received both shots showed that it was 88% effective in protecting against the coronavirus a month after receiving both shots. However, its effectiveness fell to 74% 5 or 6 months after receiving both. The news out of Israel is worse. For those who received 2 doses of the Pfizer vaccine in January 2021, the vaccine is, quote, only 16% effective against symptomatic infection. The data also appears to show a waning effectiveness of the Pfizer-BioNTech shot. However, with the vaccine only 16% effective against symptomatic infection for those individuals who had 2 doses of the shot back in January. But for people that had received 2 doses by April, the efficacy rate against symptomatic infection stood at 79%. Pregnancy. As we have reported, the CDC has promoted a misleading message on the risk that vaccines present to pregnant mothers. Birthing people. They used self-reporting studies that were racially skewed. The studies show 79% were white and only 1.4% of the people were black. Now that's a hell of a interesting study difference of people. And limited to looking at miscarriages from weeks 6 to 20 only. This caused them to omit from the study 35 self-reported pregnancy losses that were less than 6 weeks pregnant. So those go away because they're not counting those. We only want to look at 6 to 20 weeks. But nonetheless, there were still certainly some. The new approval mentions a study on the Pfizer vaccine exposure during pregnancy to be completed in 2025. So that'll be 4 years from now. Pregnant women will know whether this vaccine is safe. As for the current data, well, here's what the Comirnaty package insert says about there being insufficient information on the vaccine risks to pregnancy. 4% and 15% to 20% respectively, which I think was a previous comment because it ends there. Available data on Comirnaty administered to pregnant women are insufficient to inform vaccine-associated risks in pregnancy. Okay, Techno, I'm with you so far, but did Pfizer do any studies on whether the vaccine was safe for pregnant women? Yes, they did toxicology studies on female rats. Risks to the young. This gets us to the risks of myocarditis and pericarditis in young people, especially young men. According to the summary basis for regulatory action from the FDA, dated August 23, 2021, safety surveillance reports received by FDA and CDC identified serious risks for myocarditis and pericarditis following administration of Comirnaty. Despite this, the FDA says the benefits of the vaccine outweigh the risks. That's their opinion, and they're entitled to it, I guess. What is concerning is that they are turning this cost-benefit opinion into a mandate. In other words, they don't think you can make this cost-benefit decision for yourself. You know, they'll make it for you. Take, for example, Dr. Fauci telling CNN's Anderson Cooper that, quote, the time has come. Enough is enough. I respect people's freedom, but when you're talking about public health crisis, the time has come. Enough is enough. So, F your freedoms, F your personal choice, F your own health decisions. We're going to give you something that could kill you, could harm you. You know, it's all coulds, because they said it. There's already thousands and thousands of death cases reported to the CDC through their virus system. I believe it's over hundreds of thousands now of adverse reactions and problems. Half of those allegedly are severe problems. But they think, not you, they think the benefits outweigh the risks. So for all of you sitting here going, my employer's now saying we have to do this, the FDA approval, blah, blah, blah. You got to tell your employer the FDA did not approve the currently available vaccines. They did not. They only did Comirnaty, which is a new one that you can't get yet. And under the emergency use, no one can be held accountable, even kind of. And if you have life insurance and you die, we've already heard cases, they say, well, no, this is an experimental drug. You get nothing. We don't cover experimental drugs. That's one of the things in our thing for you to read through your documentation on your life insurance policy. You can't do that. If it's experimental and you die, we can't cover that. You know. But an FDA-approved vaccine, maybe so. So again, why if it's FDA-approved, why don't we have access to that one right now? Why are they still forcing you to go get the other ones under emergency use while coming out giving this bullshit, oh, FDA approval, when if you read through the documents, you can clearly see it's not approving the current vaccines. And why isn't the FDA coming out and saying, well, yeah, let's clarify something? They won't even talk to any. They're not saying this. Oh no, we have our media people talk to them. Contact the media people. I think I'm going to just find a contact at the FDA and ask: Is the current 2 vaccines, Moderna and Pfizer, the ones that people have been getting for the last several months, is that the one or ones that is approved, FDA approved, or is Comirnaty the one that's approval? The other ones still have emergency use. Can you clarify and see what I get? Maybe I'll try that. I think I will. Take care.